last few weeks, we have been presenting a series of talks about Booktube struggles. We've talked about the hardships of newbie booktubers, the pitfalls of bookish snobbery, the struggles of booktubers with mental health issues. We've had some pretty heavy hitters indeed. And we're going to put them in an album and put them somewhere where such things are kept somewhere else. But to finish off the series, the font absolutely has to talk about Booktube and causing offence, because man oh man, we have tread on some toes in our exuberance. So I'm going to be chatting with Isabella, the font's tech person. She is, as usual, off camera, but on for a chat. So let's talk about causing offence on Booktube.
That was pretty good, not gonna lie. I like the off-camera one for a chat. That was good. I'm gonna do that one. Give me credit. Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Isabella, have we ever caused offence on Booktube?
Probably.
The correct answer is yes, 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 1,000 times yes. Don't you reckon that we have caused some controversy?
Oh, controversy. Yeah, I guess so.
Can you remember any of them? Because I have a list.
You do have a list. I can see
have
a
a
list. Why don't you go off your list? Go on.
Okay. Episodes that caused us to lose subscribers. We haven't actually had any dirty comments, because I don't think that they do that on Booktube really. But we have just people that cease, subscribing. The first one was Christmas Nativity, where so it was one of those tags, and I just what was the question again, Isabella? We had to come up with a female protagonist, I think it was.
Yes.
Someone that didn't say anything or do anything, or some inert creature that acted as Mary, or something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines.
And I said that pretty much. That's right. I said that the one with Rochester, that Jane Eyre would be really good Mary, because she didn't have a cha-cha. But I properly said the V word, like E-word, right? In my brain, that was so hilarious. And I didn't just stop there. Of course, I made it worse. I said that none of the Victorian female protagonists had cha-chas. And then I started talking about my one being a crypt and having all cobwebs and stuff going, it just went from back to, in my brain, that was the funniest thing ever.
Yes.
And then after I put it on, we posted it, I realised, I don't think anybody in Booktube has ever dropped the B word before. Isabel would probably put the episode in the links, right, in the description box,
sure,
kind of thing. Yeah. But don't watch it. Well, watch it. No, don't. Don't. I don't want to lose more people. But anyway, so there was that one. The other one I'm thinking of, and this, I actually didn't lose a lot of subscribers, but I probably should have, because I did this thing for Australia Day. And I've been in Australia for 20 years or something. I was born in New Zealand, came over here, absolutely loved the country, became a citizen, I really, really like it here. So I thought, I'm going to talk about Australian culture and all this kind of stuff. So I celebrated, and I did the flag waving thing. I was excited. And the next day, they had all of these Australia Day protests, and they called it, what was it, Isabella?
Invasion Day.
The Invasion Day. I literally just, my whole, I didn't get any feedback, but I could understand that people that were watching would say that what I did was a really offensive thing. In my brain, I was just celebrating Australia, but, Invasion Day, because I get it. It's terrible, isn't it, Isabella? The history we have with Aboriginal people is beyond dire. So I caused offence then as well, and numerous times, because I've got this sense of humour. But the other time that I would say when I wasn't being humorous, but I can totally understand that people would have been upset with me, was when I was talking about mental health issues, and very openly. Now, for me, that was really difficult. But what happens when you talk openly about, say, people's things that they have kept hidden for a long time and hiding from themselves, we're dealing with shadow, we're dealing with things that people don't want to see. That particular episode, almost immediately I dropped some subscribers and I got a thumbs down, and I wasn't at all surprised that I had caused that. There are a lot of people that are really, really sensitive to it, and they do not want to see someone else openly talking about what they view as something that should be kept hidden. So, did we ever cause offence on Booktube? Yes, we did. Numerous occasions, can't even count how many, I don't know. Isabella, do you think that we deserve the pushbacks, deserve the people unsubscribing?
I think people are entitled to subscribe or unsubscribe if they like, because, we're just out here doing what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't want to see the content anymore, that's up to them. They're allowed to do that.
Okay, so for you it wasn't about whether it was deserved or not deserved. They made a choice and they...
Yes. But you also have to consider that there are a bunch of people that did support us and did subscribe, because,
Yeah, a lot more people support our... these were shenanigans. A lot of people are really supportive of them. And I think that's a good way, because, I don't know. I feel that we're pretty out there, but I'm sure that other booktubers have had instances where people have iced them, cancelled them, and they didn't mean anything by it. The intention was good, but there are lots of nerve endings out there. So, yes, we found some of those nerve endings. Right. Here's a good question. I like this question. Is it possible not to cause offence on Booktube? It's a ridiculous question.
Yes, I think it can, but...
you reckon it's possible to be on Booktube and not cause offence?
Yes, you would have a very safe channel, but it's possible.
It's not possible.
I think it's possible.
It's not possible.
I think it's possible.
It's impossible.
If all you're doing is, book reviews, and TBRs and stuff
you go,
like that,
bro.
then yeah,
Sis, okay. Harry Potter. Do you know what a backlash there is against Harry Potter? J.K. Rowling?
I think that is deserved, though, because she crossed boundaries.
She did.
She did not good things.
She acted like a bit of a hoe, not gonna lie. Very talented writer, but you know what? La la la. Anyways, so I agree, but nevertheless, there are a lot of kids out there or people who just, like me, likes to know about these things, happily talking about J.K. Rowling and really, really liking the books, and then boom, big problem. Now, I have an example. Oh, she who thinks that you can't even cause friggin' people to be upset. You can, you put your face the wrong way, people can take it the wrong way. There are a lot of people who have got, they're spoiling for a bit of a fun. Not.
We were talking about this before, and I'm still annoyed.
Okay, right.
Still annoyed.
Okay, so what it is that I'll just read it out. The acclaimed author Marieke Lucas-Reinfeldt has pulled out of translating Amanda Gorman's poetry into Dutch after their publisher was criticised for picking a writer for the role who was not also black. And listen to the language. Listen to the language of this poor publisher who probably thought, we use Marieke, she's pretty good with words, she knows stuff about things. And listen to the backlash. Words like they should have chosen a person who was spoken word artist, a young female, unapologetically black. I mean, this is translating into Dutch, mind you. Dutch. Like Dutch, right? I'm just saying the pool of translators is limited if you limit it to people who are spoken word artist, young female, unapologetically black. And listen to the ire. It's an incomprehensible choice. What? Incomprehensible. And they are expressing pain, frustration, and disappointment. I go, what? You don't reckon that's over the top?
I'm neither here nor there about it. No, I stand for none of it. I'm here for an honest discussion. And stop. Okay, no, I'm trying to answer your question.
Okay, right.
I'm trying to answer your question. I'm neither here nor there on it, but it is clear. Listen to me, it is clear that people have an issue with this. Have you made any effort to understand why people have an issue with it?
Listen, sure I have, but I just don't have that kind of what you call charge about things. For me, I write a pretty thing, an awesome thing, a wonderful thing, you know, and I think that this poetry was used in Biden's inauguration. I mean, it has some street frontage, right? I would want to pick the person who's the best translator. And for me, it's a meritocracy. It's like, mate, you're in. You're smart. You're doing a good job. You're going to do it. But I don't put restrictions like this down. I don't know. And the other thing is, why spend all your energy in an uproar over this where you can, like, grassroots do something just anyway. I'm just saying a lot of energy is put into this, but, you know, perhaps we could redirect some of the ire. What's that word again? Oh, frustration, anger, pain, disappointment, you know, and channel it towards doing constructive things. I'm just saying, I think this is a little bit on the sensitive side.
Well, okay, so, like I said, I'm neither here nor there. But I think that it is important that we make an effort to understand why it is that people are upset. Because it's not just the author of this article. There are, you were saying that there are other people that have been upset by this as well.
Actually, who was upset was the publisher. No, it wasn't the publisher. It was someone who was dealing with the publisher. Someone called Duell. Some lady called Janice Duell. She's a journalist and activist. Oh, like, yeah, she's active, all right. I'm just saying. What?
You're really trying to push buttons here, aren't you?
She's active, all right. Yes. I'd hire her as my activist. Faux show. I'm going to put this down slowly and back away because I think it's got teeth in it or something. I don't know. I think it wants to bite me. Okay, last question. Do you regret any of our posts?
I wouldn't say that I regret any of our posts, but that's because I don't really feel like they are my posts. Which, like, I don't know how people are going to react to that, because I know, like, you keep telling me that I've got, like, this weird mini cult following of people that are like,
they do.
But to me, I am the videographer and I'm the editor and I just post the thing and I do the descriptions and I do the thumbnail, but that's what it feels like to me. Because you're the one that comes up with all the content, so I don't have the emotional charge to it that you do. So, you know, like, there's this weird sense of distance.
That's a safety net. I wish I had that safety net, but no, I am the one that has all the ideas. Do I regret any of the posts? Yes and no. I'm still to this day thinking about the Australia Day thing, because I can understand why people would find that offensive. I meant nothing by it. And of course, you know, I thought to myself, maybe I should take it down. But then I thought, well, apologise for it. But then, you know, there are a lot of people who are Australian and their ancestors, their people, are the people who, you know, I mean, did terrible things, but they built a culture here, a world here that's really good. Anyway, I can't go around sort of saying sorry, all your ancestors, you know what, they're a bunch of locusts and they're horrible and go die or something. I don't know. An impossible dilemma. I don't know. In terms, I tell you the one thing that I do not regret talking about mental illness, even in the slightest, because there would be very little integrity for me to say, hey, you know what, I believe there's a lot of people who are fragile, or perhaps a little bit more mentally fragile than others. And for me to say, oh, you know, but there's no shame on it, don't worry about that, when I'm hiding my own past, that would be nonsense to my mind. So that is one time it was like, you know, I knew what I was doing. I knew that I would probably get some flack for it, but I did it anyway because I felt strongly that it was the right thing to do. Jury's out about Christmas. In my brain it's still a bit funny, but I also understood why people would.
Nah. Christmas is funny.
Christmas was funny. Anyway, Isabella, have we natted enough? I think we've covered a few issues. You know, done a few whatever.
So. Can we? Yes, let's wrap this up.
Wrap it up.
Your head off.
I think
about some other issue that I fundamentally don't agree with you with.
It's come back next week. We'll probably have something a bit different. In fact, I know we will have something a bit different because we're just closing off this whole Booktube struggles thing. I may dip in, add some more to the album down the track, but you know, let's go and do some other things. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to everyone who just comments and gets in there and has a good old discussion, because you know what, that's, why not talk bookish things. And thank you to Isabella, who is a little bit scary, and thank you so much, and